Hello, hello. Welcome to Brush Hour. How you doing? My name is Francesca and I am here to paint with you, to be creative. And yeah, Brush Hour is a fun place to in time of the week to kind of be able to reflect on the week, our creativity, how we can get a little bit more creative. So hello to people coming on. Hello to people that are watching this after, because all of these are recorded. And yeah, so hope everyone had a great week. Had some technical difficulties getting on. Let me go ahead and make sure this is still, there we go. Make sure it's on Instagram too. But yeah, hope everyone had a really awesome week or coming into the weekend now. Yeah, so last week we took a break from Brush Hour. I was up in Pine Top for a family trip, so we went up there, enjoyed some cool weather and some family time, and yeah, so that was really nice. And I painted my brother Buzz while I was there, so that was fun. I was trying to pull these pictures up for, but it wasn't like loading on, so I'm gonna see how I can still add those. But yeah, so I painted from life, which that was a lot of fun. I was hoping to get more people, but it's like, kind of hard when people are wanting to relax and all of that. So that's okay. Um, and this is where we left off from my last Brush Hour. So I thought I would bring this on. And I actually kept it. So this is 2 weeks ago. And I kept it on for, I kept it in the freezer, or not my freezer, but a mini fridge that I keep really cold. And it's like not fully dry, which is kind of cool. I was kind of curious how long I could get that going. So yeah, I'll be kind of working on that, and yeah, chatting about some other one story that I heard that was kind of cool, and then also some art news. So if you follow any of that, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that in the beginning of Brush Hours, because I feel like that's definitely fun to kind of stay in tune with everything. But if you do follow it, you might have seen that his identity was revealed. At least we think so. And what's funny is his name, just spaced it. Hold on. Let's see. Yes. And you'll have to, we got Robin Gunningham. Let's see if it'll, there we go. And yeah, so he is just a normal Joe Schmo sort of looking guy, which I think people were surprised about, which is interesting because I feel like this is kind of who I expected anyway. I didn't think that there would be, I think people maybe thought he was going to be some suave, debonair guy, but he is not. He's a Bristol-born man, born in 1974, who may have changed his name to David Jones. Evidence includes 2,000 police court records, geographical profiling, and witness accounts through Banksy's legal team. It's never officially confirmed his true identity. So yeah, kind of interesting. And I don't know what more we'll hear about it, but yeah, kind of cool too. But I don't know. Do you think it's better to have it be more of a mystery than to have found out who it was? Kind of cool. I don't know. Interesting. There's like obviously pen names, ghostwriters. I'm sure there's been plenty of artists, especially in history, that were women that some that had identities as were portraying under men or their husbands. Like if you saw the movie Big Eyes, that was about a real artist and her husband that took credit for all of her all of her work. And then in they ended up proving that it was her work because she, in court, they both did a paint off, and she was able to paint him, and he was, or paint in her work, and he wasn't able to. So that was definitely a defining moment for that. And that's so interesting because our and I talk about this a lot in workshops, but our brush mark making is just as unique to us as our handwriting is. So when that's how we know if something is someone's work, like that it's actual Van Gogh, based off of that. So it's very specific to that person, almost like a fingerprint. So yeah, maybe I don't know how that works with Banksy stuff because a lot of his is stencil work, but that's all right, I guess. And so yeah, super interesting. Yeah, I'm going to be working a little bit on this as I chat today. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I think I can mostly see them on Instagram or mostly YouTube, so that I can go back and forth between these and see. So yeah, say hello. Russ says hi. Thanks for being here, guys. Stephanie, JD, cool. So I'm going to be continuing this one, and it's kind of nice to kind of get a little bit of a break from it too. I have my reference photo up here, and what I want to do is I'm going to mix up some paint, and my goal with this is to be mixing up a bunch of paint. I don't want to be shy about it. I always preach about that, so I want to make sure that I'm doing that as well. So just making sure I can see that in the view so you can see it. There we go. Again, this is my brother. This reference photo I took, did a bunch of them, of all of the siblings that were there. So I'm just mixing up a big pile. You can see hopefully that like I'm really loading or getting a bunch of paint there. Let's get some more. This isn't too big of a painting, but it's still nice to be able to have that. And I'm gonna start keeping more of my my discard paints, because that's a great thing to use for your grays and such. So you don't always need to throw away your paint. Okay, so that's a pretty orangey color, so I'm just going to tone it down a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to really kind of load it up. Yeah, so it's nice to, we kind of got back from our trip and got the place, all kind of, we did a little bit of spring cleaning, which was fun. Always good to do that. Spending lots of time with the baby. She's getting so big. She's like running around everywhere. So we have baby proof because there's no stopping this lady. And it's been pretty cute, pretty awesome. She's definitely talking more and her own, saying more words, talking in her own little language, which is cute. Russ says, how are you? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Hope you're doing good. Okay. Just getting a little bit of this King's Blue to tone down my orangish color. Just a little bit though. But yeah, it was just also, I mean, so scenic up in Pine Top. Um, and gorgeous. Obviously, the weather was great. The place we stayed at was really beautiful too. Even just being in there, all the windows and the lighting, and oh, that was pretty awesome. So it's kind of nice to get out of the studio. Speaking of, I am excited. I'm going to be painting at Scottsdale Artist School tomorrow. They have their open studio, so I'll be doing that. I was on the wait list for it this week, and they called me today, so that was super exciting. Okay. I'm just test patch. So I'm going to blob that on, but let's also get some other colors rocking. So this purple I'm going to use for more of my cool colors. I have been liking kind of separating, like having my colors right here and then separating, doing my warms or cool on the opposite of it. It kind of works. I'm working with my brain anyway. Okay, so we got some cools. I got my light. Let's see. Yeah, and one of the paint lines that I've been really liking is I love Rembrandt. Then I also really have been loving Tuscan Pine. Jerry's, their oil paint line. Really, really nice. So I did pick up some other colors the other day that I haven't popped on yet, but hello, Marco. See, you just popped on YouTube. Nice to see you. Long time no see. So this English red that I think would be fun to play with for skin tones. I got a brown pink, which is another good skin tone. So I do love the transparent oxide red, which I got one of the bigger tubes of it. So I'm already out of the other one, and it's just a really good good color to go off of. It's like a burnt sienna, which is a good skin tone color. Yeah, so I love it. So I've got the bigger too. And then a warm burnt umber, which I'm also excited about because usually it's a little bit more on the cool side. Oh, and then this Williamsburg orange that looked kind of cool. It's like I've been really trying to do more peachy colors, which is Michael Harding Cad Orange is most of this, what that pile is. So usually I have my colors pretty organized up, but I've been just playing with different ones lately. So I've been experimenting, which means they kind of drift off into these colors that aren't normally all staged and prepped to go. So let's see. Yeah, that was a fun little art haul from Jerry's. Yeah, I'm gonna do some like different swatches and everything of all of these because you can really get, you know, colors out of all types. But it is good to experiment with them based off of different skin tones and just, you know, what you can use in all of your mixtures. Okay, I'm actually going to I did add this orange onto my palette that I'll be playing around with. I love the oranges and the purples together, so that's part of that decision making. Okay. Just grabbing a couple brushes. And yeah, I'm trying just my thought process right now. I do want to find stuff that has some good bounce so I can put that on there. Okay. Russ says, unfortunately, I don't know English. I'm from Azerbaijan. Probably not saying that right, but that's awesome. That is the beauty of technology, right? That's pretty awesome that we can be able to translate like that. So hopefully you can at least gather what I'm saying. Does it let you have a interpreter for it or a translator? I'm sure Instagram does. Okay, so what I'm going to do again, like I said, I want to get some really good amount of paint going. So I'm just going to like just put that on there. I always like to just have, get some good piles going, and then I can always sort of add as I go, but I want to keep this side nice and bright. He does have, especially men will have more of this green, more fun to play with for men. I did a bunch of the work on here with my underpainting and everything, so I don't want to like overdo it either, because I have definitely done that before where I'm like, oh my goodness, I went way too far. I did all this work, and then you think that like it's hard because sometimes you think that the work is never done, right? So you just kind of keep going, and it's definitely easy to over render. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to behave. And I want to get a bit of my shadows, especially down here. And actually, maybe I will use it's Transparent Oxide Red by Tuscan Pine. Again, it's really good for skin tones. It's just going to be a little bit. Oops. Yeah, so that's the Artist School Day. I do different open studio sessions. So tomorrow I'll do that, which is always so fun. It's always really, they always have great models and great facility. Everyone there is always so nice. So it'll be good to maybe see some familiar faces. I used to go way more before. So it's kind of nice to be able to be getting back to it a little bit. Reinforcing these shadows a bit. At least my darker colors. I'll come home cold. Hello. A few more people on Instagram. Hi Joe, how you doing? Hello, Celestiano, how you doing? Joe, it looks like you're having fun out in New York. Sent me some photos trying to get me jealous at. Where were you? I can't remember if I saw that, but it was really awesome seeing the Rembrandt painting. Okay, so I don't want to be too dark in my shadows or my darker areas. Easy to do. Welcome home, Colt says, hey, nice job so far. Thank you. I'm just going in and getting in some of these darker areas without going too dark. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to remind myself to pack the paint on. Dark ones, I like this dark over here. Which is crazy because if you look at what I'm tapping right here, it definitely looks super dark. And then when you add it onto the painting, it definitely looks way lighter. So everything's always relative. I'm gonna get his shirt so it has some sort of context. Let's see. I'm gonna do it like a purple. No, I'm not being perfect about that because the more perfect you make it, especially surrounding the main focus, I find that you have to like keep adding more focus or more detail. So I'm gonna keep all of that more abstract. Trying to just also plop in a color and keep it moving. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. I always say that to Delilah when she's trying to get into something. Keep it moving, keep it grooving, lady. And I need to remind myself of that too. Yeah, keep adding. Let's see. This needs to be a bit darker, but we'll keep it going. Welcome home, Colt says, Do you do any other art mediums? And yeah, I do. So oil painting, I love oil painting. I also paint with acrylic, and I love dry media as well. So charcoal and graphite are my other go-tos. Just try to keep it well rounded as possible. Yeah, I do love to. I love painting. Or excuse me. Yeah, drawing with dry media because it's all it is just practice um, for painting because painting is drawing. So the more practice, the more I use dry media, I feel like the better my paintings are. Especially like sometimes if I feel stuck or anything, I'll like kind of go on a painting hiatus or not, or sorry, yeah, painting hiatus, and I'll just be drawing or, just stuff also happens in life where you can't, get to your easel as much, and drawing is a lot easier to be able to like do a quick, do a quick session or just, more of an approachable medium. So yeah, I definitely like to kind of go back and forth. Joe, my son and I tuned in. He's been starting to paint now. Oh, that's so fun. You guys, that's such a nice thing to do together. Can't wait till I can do that with Delilah. We've been crayoning together. Tiz and Fizz, sending love, Francesca. You too. Looks beautiful. Thank you. Big hug to you. I think, aren't you getting married soon? You're getting married in October, I believe, Grandpa said. So Ryan and I are getting married in October as well. Month of love. Celestianos is doing well. Thanks for asking. Don't mind me. Just intrigued with your art. Well, yay. That makes me happy to hear. I do feel like I need to darken this up so he's framed in a little bit more. And I don't want to. I feel like a good rule of thumb for me anyway is if I see something that needs to be fixed and need to do it right away. And a lot of other artists, I think, feel the same. Because once we start to see things that if we know something's wrong, we kind of ignore it, the problem just gets bigger. And other things that we do will influence that wrong, decision or mark or whatever it is. And so I like to make sure that if I'm feeling something, I need to do that. So I like to work a little bit more globally instead of, like in one spot and then kind of emerge out. And yeah, everyone's a little bit different when it comes to that, but I would say that that's a good. So right. Once again, I've been kind of restructuring the studio, so I took my lights down and I need to get other ones back up. Okay, so this is a little bit more of a usually it's chromatic blanket. Tiz and Fizz. Yes, I am. Congrats to you. Yeah, you too. Bill says, "Yo, how often do you do this?" So I do this every Thursday, unless something's going on, like a class or family trip. But Thursdays, 7 p.m. here on Instagram and YouTube. Okay, so it's a little bit. I'm just backing up because it is super important. Promise. When we back up, we can really get an idea of like what's going on overall. Taking pictures of your work as you go helps with that as well. But it is good to also just get up. Kaylee just joined. Hey Kaylee, how you doing? Okay. Let's also try to get some. His hair a little bit darker because he has jet black hair. Some of us in our family do. If you don't, it's crazy. Like my daughter has basically blonde hair. And actually, Kaylee, if you're, I don't know if you're still on right now, Kaylee, but um, she has like this like strawberry blonde hair, and it reminds me of you often. It's just like really cute. It's gotten a little less strawberry blonde. It was way more beginning, but definitely a little blonde baby. So I'm going to bring down the shadow. It's a little bit darker in the photo, but I'm going to take some artistic liberties and bring it down a notch. Or I should say bring it up a notch. Taking on these shadows. And I'm not trying to be too, you know, obviously I'm going for a proper drawing, an accurate drawing, but I do want to make sure that I'm keeping it nice and fresh though. I saw something interesting on an Instagram. I shared it the other day, but it was about, especially in the Victorian era, about how people would, all the women were taking, which was like advertised as this like healthy slash safe thing, and they were using arsenic wafers, and it would like brighten people's skin and make them look more like porcelain, and it was actually, of course, like killing people because it was super toxic and harmful and all of that, and people knew that, but it was you know, like a sign of class and all of that, and pretty sad, but also really interesting that, you know, people are doing that just to for status and everything, especially for paintings. It's like, well, you know, it's like Photoshop. You can change that, but kind of shows how stuff is not changed too much. Now he's like looking a little bit more over in this reference, but I am kind of liking that he's looking over and not at it. So I could adjust that, but I kind of don't know if I want to yet. So I'm gonna leave it and see if it just continues to work with what I'm doing. Anyway, since the back is more dry, I'm almost kind of glazing this on a bit, this shadow, just to make it darker. But again, I don't want to go too dark. Yeah, so I also have some other workshops coming up at Mesa Art Center, and some summer ones, so all now through the summer. So make sure you check those out. I also will be having I have a couple more spots left open for my class at the Cellar. So if you want to join in on that, make sure that you can go to the link in my bio and register for that. We're having a floral theme. It's beautiful, painting a rose. And then you can also get it framed. I have some frame options. And then I have a live model workshop that's coming up that I'm really super excited about. So we'll have that on Sunday, and I'm introducing a whole new kind of series for that. So I have brush hour on these days that'll continue. I'm going to have a little more of an art news sort of vibe with it. And then on Sundays, it's going to be called the Sunday Sketch Club. So you are hearing it now first. But yeah, so I'll be sharing more info about that. But the Sunday Sketch Club is going to be all about kind of like centering the beginning of our week, trying to set intentions for the week. I'll have a new art tutorial that'll drop every Sunday, or a combination of, so new art tutorial drops, a new live workshop. So it'll be, you know, I just do these kind of like demos or whatever for brush hour, but it'll be a little more structured. You'll get the reference in advance, supply list, all of that. And then I also will have once a month a live model workshop. And so the idea with that is going to be that I'll have all sorts of different types of models, all looks, all vibes, all sizes, everything, because there's a lot to learn from that. And yeah, so they'll be costumed up really cool for added inspiration. And then we'll also have, I'm going to have like a whole curated scene to get us inspired as well. So you can go to watch my demonstration because it will be a guided workshop. But you can watch the demonstration, you can paint along, you can watch a little bit and then paint. And then also you can get photos so you can use them for your in your studio later. So yeah, I'm really excited to be starting that. And the first one will be February, March 19th, and that'll be at Four Peaks. So I'll have that. It's already on my website, so you can go register at francescabessettart.com. And yeah, it's going to be a fun start to some cool things. Some other stuff I have going on. I have and speaking of, when I was up in Pine Top on our way out, we stopped at this really cool coffee shop, and it's called The Depot. And we needed, you know, some fuel for the trip, and they had like really great coffee, really great food. We got like a burrito and the sourdough toast. It was amazing. And I talked to the owner, who was super, super nice. And we're going to be doing a workshop. So June 13th, I'll have a workshop there. I think we're actually even going to have two. So I'll have a paint your pet one. We're trying to decide if we're going to do two paint your pets, or if we're going to do a paint your pet and then something that's more like landscape, or something that might be more about Pine Top. I think that could be cool. But people also love their pets. So I want to make sure that, yeah, we're trying to get an idea if that's what we're going to do, like a poll and see. So you let me know. Do you think it's cool to do two back-to-back paint your pets, or is it better to kind of like switch it up? But yeah, so if you know anyone in Pine Top, make sure you let them know. I'll be there June 13th. And then hopefully maybe every so often. But I'm excited because, yeah, it's a really cute place, and great to be able to escape some heat around then too. So yeah, even if you're wanting to escape the heat yourself from the valley, come on up. Yeah, lots of fun and exciting times. I'm using this like longer brush as well because I feel like it's gonna kind of move some paint around better. And as I'm like even looking through the camera, not the camera, but let's get this going right here. Speaking of seeing things that need to be addressed right away. Get some. Get this shape kind of settled. Kind of like redefining this drawing a bit. This shape right in here too. Hopefully everyone is staying nice and cool. It's so hot in Arizona. I don't know how it is where everyone else is at, but we're all trying to survive right now. It was not this hot last year or the year before or anything, but yeah. I don't know. Do you guys think it's gonna like cool off at all? Let's get this right here. just so let's give him some pink to his cheeks. We'll get a little bit of this orange, this Williamsburg orange. I'm trying to like play with more fun colors. Obviously, like all of the colors that you can get can all be made, and everything. But it is kind of nice to like have some starting points. I don't really do it enough, but then with acrylic, I have no problem with that. I use all of these like more pastels and everything. I really like this Lucas brand. And so, like, well, I need to start maybe doing that with my oil paints too. Let's get this right here. Kind of just also trying to get more color going. Because these saturated areas are important, and sometimes I feel like it's easy to, especially for men, at least for me, to kind of like be not so quick to like add temperature and stuff, but we do need that. Men have temperature as well. It's just not exaggerating or anything more masculine. And just kind of like popping in some color. If I have it on my brush and I know I could use it somewhere else as well. And let's get some anchoring right there. Let's take a step back. That needs to be adjusted right there. See, if I didn't like take that step back, I didn't see it. It's hard to see a lot of things when we're like so close to something. Just using this like a really long bristle brush. It's almost kind of like a striper. But yeah, it's nice to be able to like manipulate paint better with this. Hey Douglas, you just asked who is your model? This is my younger brother. To be in my family is to be asked to let me take pictures of you for photo references, which I recommend everyone do to your family. So. Interest. Mine are also a little bit, I don't want to say easier to paint, but something more masculine. You can definitely have a little bit more fun with like the impasto and such. Um, Whereas women, we want to be a little bit softer with brush strokes and especially value transitions and stuff. So it's kind of nice too. Sometimes kind of go back and forth. So people ask like, "Oh, do you prefer to paint women or men?" And we both have their fun. So yeah, let's get this shadow. I do like this little shadow shape he has, like in his lip right here, because Douglas, I'm watching the grandbaby, but I'll be checking in. Oh, have fun! I didn't know you had a grandbaby. Is that recent or? My little daughter has been getting so big, and I only say that because I remember reaching out to you when I was pregnant, Mr. Douglas. Crazy how long ago that was, but also it does not feel like it either. It was just at Jerry's Artorama actually, and I brought the baby, and it was just like, whoa, time is so weird. I think just a general course, but like there's something about since having a baby where yeah, time is just weird. Like I driving to Jerry's Artorama is always kind of interesting um, lately because I've been going there for so long, and I, when I started my paint and sip company in 2012, I was going there every week, several times a day or several times a week sometimes, and um, so it's just all of those that commute there and everything, and just kind of like I don't know, life feels like it flashes sometimes when I'm over there, especially driving with the baby now because I remember I was there a bunch when I was pregnant doing demos and such and man, I was just in so much pain during my pregnancy, and so that was something I was able to actually do and enjoy. And um, so, yeah, being there now, I remember thinking like, oh, I can't wait till I can like bring her here, and yeah, it's like that's the case. It's so crazy. It's really fun that way. So now I'm just also like adding some pesto. we need to get some shadow, a little more shadow under his neck, because I'm just making a really, really dark, not really dark, but I don't want it to be black, but some shadow, so it yes. I'm just like kind of being quiet, but I'm just loading this paint on, which is kind of fun. And I'm using like a super bristled brush because it holds a lot more paint. Speaking of, okay, so I have that bristle brush. I put a lot of really good stuff on it, I feel like. So now I want to do that with here. Let's get some light purple going. Add a little bit of the bit more. Got here late. Who dat? Hello, Tattooed Planet. This is my younger brother. painted him. I started this painting a couple weeks ago on Brush Hour. Thought I would keep it going. I was like, what do I paint tonight? I feel like I'm always like, oh, I want to do this or this, and sometimes it's hard to decide until like cameras on. But yeah, it's really bright. I need it right now. What are you guys doing over there? Probably busy with what's it called? Spring break, but is she still on spring break? I don't know. Well, I am going over a little bit more, but that's all right. You are enjoying. You can keep waiting. Daddy's not back yet with Daddy. So for anyone that just popped on or that wasn't before, I do have several workshops coming up, whether that be at Scottsdale Art, or excuse me, Mesa Art Center. I'm at Scottsdale Art School tomorrow for their open studio, which I encourage you to look into if that sounds fun to you. But yeah, so I also have some that I'm having some that I'm teaching at Mesa Art Center. I have a class at the Cellar that's on March 25th, so coming up next week, and then I have some more that are through the end of summer. I have a live model workshop coming up at Four Peaks on April 19th. All these dates are like, so that one's going to be super fun. I'll have a model, just locking all of that in, and a really cool setup. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM me and ask. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm happier with this painting than when I started it, so that's always a win. We're not always so lucky for that. Nothing worse than working on a painting where you're like, oh, okay, I should have just left that alone today. But it happens. It's just more practice. So yeah, I hope everyone had a great. Joey at Tattooed Planet says, love it. We're thinking about taking a workshop. Yeah, let me know. You can come to one that I have, or I'm also totally open to coming to the shop. Just let me know. But yeah, so hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will see you guys next Thursday for another brush hour. And let me know if there's anything you're wanting me to paint, anyone in particular, or any sort of technique that you're wondering, any burning questions. Feel free to DM me, let me know. But yeah, oh my gosh, I really did like this painting. I'll get a better quality version of it because it definitely looks a little bit different on camera. And yeah, so I will post that. Let's get a little bit. Let's get this. This jawline is a little bit more defined than what I'm. This one I might work on tonight. We will see. But yeah, okay. Hope everyone has a great week. I'll see you guys soon. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, everything, though, all my workshops and online learning is francescabessedart.com. Okay, guys, see you later.